Greetings Blender sculptors and welcome to another video. At some point in every sculptor's journey you will want to delve into the scary world of asymmetrical shapes. However, quite often we can lose our way. This video is all about maintaining structure on asymmetrical shapes, so let's get to it. So this video is all about maintaining structure. So as you can see, I've been working on this centaur character, and there's a few different parts of his anatomy that are asymmetrical now. For example, the chest is slightly skewed and the face is not perfectly symmetrical. Try and get a more expressive face, and the hips area as well. And then we've got another chest as well, because it's attached to a horse. We need to, sometimes when we have an asymmetrical shape like this, it's handy to be able to maintain the structure of that. A neat way of doing this would be to enter sculpt mode on the asymmetrical shape, control shift and drag around the head like this. Doesn't need to be too neat. You can use the mask brush. We can use the mask brush. Hold control to tidy this up, and then if we make a duplicate, shift D of this whole object, enter sculpt mode for the duplicate, and the mask will still be there for the new object. And then if we flip the mask, and then if we mask slice and fill holes, we should have just the head remaining. It's taking a long time. Okay, now just hit / to focus on this object, see how it looks, and we go back into object mode. I'm going to center the origin into this geometry. Then I'm going to align to this active object on the front, and you can see that the origin is not correctly aligned to this new face object. So what we want to do is make it appear as a skull, so it's only got the structure of the face, so like the cheekbones and just any bony parts of the face. So what I'm going to do is turn on the origin. If we go to the item menu using the N key to open the N menu, and then go to tool, under transform you can affect the origin. Now when I rotate, I'm rotating the origin only, and G as well only moves the origin itself. I'm just actually going to remesh this so it's a lot too much. So it's a lot less detailed, a 0.1 millimeter voxel size. And what I'm going to do, going to align the camera so it's facing the head straight on. If you just go to view, navigation, there's roll left and right here. If you right click on these menu items, you can add your own shortcut. So I just use control left and right arrow. And I've done the same for orbit as well. That's quite useful. Control alt, got it set as control alt and left arrow. So you're able to sort of have full control of the camera. Anyway, I now rotate the origin and then go to the up using the orbit and get the X straight as well, just rotating. If we go back to the front, turn off affecting origins. Now I am able to, if I enter sculpt mode and then use the move tool, you can find the move tool here in sculpt mode. I have it set to shift M. Then you can see the axes. I've got them turned off by default just so it doesn't distract me while sculpting. And you can see +X is going this way, but we want to copy -X over to +X. I've created this little add-on, allows me to access shortcuts quickly that would otherwise take a little bit longer to do manually. So for example, this is a symmetry pie, and if I wanted to do this manually, I think I would need to go to open the N menu, under tool, symmetry, and then direction here, and then you hit symmetrize. Just to speed that up slightly, you can just quickly go to -X here, and then it's symmetrized over. If you'd like to download that add-on, you can get it for free on my Gumroad, and put a link in the description for that. So now if we go into object mode, then stop isolating, let's see what happens. So you can see that it is now in position. So if we remesh again, 0.1, and then we turn on X symmetry, and we can see now that we now have a symmetrical shape going on here. And then we're able to take bony landmarks like this, just see how far we've diverged. So for example, got the chin here and this jaw, so we can push in with our object. The things that shouldn't move should stay sticking out. This gives you an idea how far your sculpt has diverged from the symmetry. So we started with a symmetrical shape and then we made it asymmetrical, create the expression, but then this object that we've just made is a good way to make sure that we've not gone too far out of the structure. So for example, it looks as though I've moved the cheekbone here and then the jaw is sticking out more there than it probably should be. So we'll use another example now with the chest. If we do a similar thing, enter edit mode, sculpt mode, sorry, and then we use Control Shift drag to just mask out the chest. So we'll just try and get rid of the chest as we can. Get rid of the hands. I've just reversed the mask. We go into object mode and then Shift D again, solo mode, and then mask slice fill holes. And we're going to remesh it to 0.1 again. And with this one, we can make it look a bit more like a ribcage, so much more simplified. And then we can see how symmetry's been affected here. Oh, uh-oh. If we remesh now, it might explode. Oh. So we don't need to worry about these parts here. We just focus on copying this side over. We'll do the same again with the origin. See where that is. We center it into the geometry first. And you can do that manually by going to Object, Set Origin, Geometry to Origin. And then if we go to the front of the active object, you can do that by going to View, Align View to Active, and then I've got this set up as a pie menu to quickly access it. Now we go into Sculpt mode and rotate it. Go to the left side. So we want to copy over from -X, get more like simplified chest. Now make sure we're using X symmetry. We can use the mesh filter. The mesh filter you can access down here. I've got it set to right alt and comma, and we can smooth the whole mesh using this. Quite useful. I usually have it as inflate. I use that most often. Then if we go back here, we can see how it's diverged again. Just smooth it out. And then I'm using just the draw brush. I'm gonna paint where I think the ribcage is. You can see that with our asymmetrical object, maybe should be sticking out further at this side. If you look here, we have the structure pretty well defined there, but on this side, it's just got a little bit lost and it may be too low down. So if we look at this, the ribcage be attached to the spine, and the spine would bend, but the ribcage wouldn't bend. So what we could do, scale this down a little bit, and maybe push in everything except for the bits that we want. Push all this in, just tidy the shape up a bit. What we should be able to do is done a smaller remesh there, smooth it out, and 0.03 voxel size. This is going to match the sculpt that we've got at the moment. Is the current voxel size, just using grab now. And then what we would be able to do, just define this a little bit more. So go into sculpt mode. Oops. make sure we go into sculpt mode with that new ribcage and just define that shape a little better. And then once we've merged that in, we can smooth it. And now I want to join this new ribcage to the asymmetrical object. So we press Ctrl J, and now it's joined in. And then we want to remesh it to 0,3. And then once this is remeshed, we'll be able to paint over it and be confident that that is where the structure should be. This is very slow on my computer. Okay, let's finish remeshing. We enter sculpt mode. So now if we just use clay strips, we can merge in this new ribcage shape. There we go. We've added a bit more structure to this chest. Thanks for checking out the video, and hopefully you're able to take something away from it for yourself. If you're enjoying the content, you can support the channel in various ways. Recently, I had been working on this Goblin rogue boss style character, and recently got him off the printer. Check out the result here. If you're interested in printing this guy for yourself, you can download him for free on my Gumroad, along with other free sculpting resources and miniatures. I also have a Patreon where you can support the channel, just like these guys did. Thanks for watching, and I hope to see you in the next one.